The neighborhood looked like it had been copied and pasted from a real estate brochure. Freshly trimmed hedges, identical mailboxes, perfectly edged lawns, and not a single trash bin left out past pickup day. It was neat. It was quiet. It was controlled. I should have known that last part would matter. At closing, my realtor slid a thick stack of papers across the table and said casually, "Just standard HOA documents." I skimmed the pages. Rules about grass height. Approved paint colors. Fence specifications.
No la ibstak. No visible cloteslines.
No overnight street parking. Nothing unusual. What I didn't realize was that behind those rules was a woman named Linda Harrow, though everyone called her Karen behind her back, and she treated the HOA like it was her personal kingdom. And I was about to become her favorite target. It started 3 weeks after I moved in. I had just planted a small vegetable garden in the side yard. Nothing dramatic, just tomatoes, peppers, basil, and a couple of zucchini plants. I built a simple wooden border around the soil to keep it neat. It was tasteful, organized,
Clean.
2 days later, I found a neon orange notice taped to my front door. HOA violation, unauthorized landscaping installation. I blinked at it.
Unautorise de landscaping installation.
It was a garden. I walked across the street to my neighbor's house. An older man named Mr. Alvarez answered the door. "Is this normal?" I asked, holding up the notice.
He winced. Ah.
"You met Linda." He sighed. "Welcome to Maple Ridge." Apparently, any structural landscape modification required pre-approval from the HOA Architectural Committee, which, as I later learned, was just Linda and her 2 close friends. I emailed the HOA politely. "Hi, I'm new to the neighborhood. I wasn't aware that a small garden required approval. I'm happy to submit a form if needed." The reply came in less than 10 minutes. "You should have reviewed the HOA bylaws prior to altering your property. The fine stands. Continued non-compliance will result in escalating penalties."
No greeting.
No signature beyond. Linda Harrow, HOA President. Big mistake. Over the next 2 months, the notices kept coming. For non-approved exterior light bulb temperature. It was warm white instead of soft white. I started documenting everything. I took pictures of my lawn with a measuring tape. I photographed my trash bins from every angle. I saved every email. Meanwhile, other houses on the street had far worse violations. One family had peeling paint on their garage. Another had a broken fence panel.
No fines.
I asked Mr. Alvarez why. He leaned closer and said quietly, "She doesn't like you." "Why?" He shrugged. "You questioned her." Apparently, at the last HOA meeting, I had asked why vegetable gardens weren't allowed in front-facing side yards. Linda had smiled tightly and said, "We have standards." I replied, "It's not visible from the street." The room went silent. And just like that, I was marked. The breaking point came on a Thursday afternoon. I opened my mailbox and found a certified letter. Inside was a formal notice. Final notice. Accumulated HOA fines. $3,000, $3,000. My hands actually shook. The breakdown was absurd. I immediately drove to the HOA office, a small rented suite in a nearby shopping center. Linda was sitting behind a desk like a queen on her throne. I corrected every issue, I said, placing photos on her desk. She didn't look at them. The fines were issued during the period of non-compliance. I fixed the garden after the first notice. "You never received approval. It's 3 tomato plants." She folded her hands. "If the balance is not paid within 30 days, we will place a lien on your property."
Alia.
Over vegetables. I left shaking with anger. That night, I read every page of the HOA bylaws. And that's when I found it. It stated that approval was required for permanent structural installations visible from the street. My garden was not visible from the street. I had photos to prove it. Even better, Section 12. 1 required the HOA to provide written notice and a 14-day opportunity to cure before escalating fines. They had never given me 14 days. They fined me immediately. I emailed Linda citing the exact sections. Her response was short. "The board interprets the bylaws at its discretion." Payment is due. That was when I realized something important. Bullies rely on intimidation. They don't expect resistance. So I hired a lawyer. My attorney, Daniel Cho,